Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Experience Kills. Once again I'm joined by my fearless leader, Benjamin Hall.
Hello everyone! It's a pleasure to be here with you, Cameron.
Isn't it a pleasure to be here with you, my friend?
Okay, this is getting creepy already, I love it.
Oh good, because that's kind of the aim I was going for. Today we're bringing you a fresh new game called 1 Hour, 1 Life. Now this was developed and published by quite a small group, I believe, called main person it's called Jason Roher, and I gotta say, extremely surprising game, absolutely surprising game. Big multiplayer survival game where you are born from another player who is your mother, who must take care of you at an early age until you're able to branch out and grow up yourself, and then have babies of your own and just like build this big old civilization.
Crazy, man.
Absolutely mind-boggling. It really is. So the main aim, obviously, you have 1 hour to live, hence 1 hour, 1 life, because every year is a second in the game, and you have to forage for food, farm food, hunt for food and clothing. You slowly learn all this as you grow up. Obviously, from an early age, your mother constantly has to make sure that you're warm, you are well fed, or else you can quite literally, boom, dead.
That's mad. Well, that sounds super ambitious.
It was, oh my god, it was totally mind blowing because I was thinking like, okay, so I'm born from a mother, so I guess someone is just, you know, I'm just like a random child, or I'm a random person to start with, and I just start a family. But no, I'm genuinely born from another player who's been playing for a while, and I'm now in their gene pool, their family tree. And I slowly watched them get older as I got older as well. She took care of me from a very young age. Literally, because I can't eat anything at that age, and I can't really move that much because I need to stay warm. But she came over every couple of seconds and held me. I will put in quotation marks, when in actuality she was booby feeding me.
Oh, well, thanks for, trying to, talk around the issue before making it explicit. I appreciate that.
I was violated from age 1, honestly. I didn't know what
I think
was
that's
going
what
on.
most mothers do, though, to be fair, Cameron. It's quite natural.
I am a grown man. I did not expect this. And she completely, she raised me from a very young age. She gave me clothes to wear as well. I slowly started learning as a valued member of society. Because you start off literally as a baby, you can't walk and you can barely talk. Obviously with a huge MMO like this, you can talk as a baby, but only with single letters. And as you get older, obviously you learn bigger letters, bigger words, to form full sentences at older ages. So trying to communicate to people, saying that, especially to your mum, you're just like, I'm hungry. Either she has to pay attention to you, or you have to type like F for food, just to kind of get just to kickstart his brain and go, oh crap, feed the baby. Which I gotta be honest, was very similar to my own personal experiences holding a baby.
So what's the goal here? Is it just survival?
It is. It's just a big survival game, and as you have this civilization grow, and you literally go through the generations, and obviously when you reach 60 years old, naturally you can die. I made it to about 40, as the oldest I went to, and then I got slaughtered by a bear. Yay! And but the cool thing was, though, I went back to it. I think a couple of hours later, but I had a break and just held around the house for a little bit. You know, you usually do on a day off. I went back to it, and I actually found that I went back into the same server, and I was a few generations away of where I came in from.
Wow.
So
you were your own descendant.
I was born back into the generation that I had helped build. A few years later, I'd seen the houses grow. I'd seen the house that I helped build. I saw everything there, and quite literally, the oldest person there, who had gone through menopause and everything, so she can't help breastfeed or anything at all. She was my grandchild.
How bizarre.
It was so surreal.
And it surfaces that information so you can kind of see that connection.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because like the map that I was born into was exactly the same where it was. It just had a couple of extra houses that had been built on the outskirts. And like the people who are all named individually as well. You can name the children and everything. To be honest, you can name them pretty much anything. Nothing too explicit, sort of thing. And it was just so crazy because
so this, it sounds to me more like a social experiment rather than a game. It sounds like this experiment in like cooperation, because it's forcing you to live the experiences of a life in a hugely compressed manner. But you're all working together for the betterment of the whole group.
Absolutely.
I take it. No, or do people try and kill each other and stuff?
I didn't get to witness it at the times that I've been playing it, but you can PK, you can play kill, you can murder other people. I just never came across it in our society, which was really nice to see. That there just wasn't, one out of the few that was happy to go and ruin the experience for everybody, because if everybody dies in that generation and there's no one else left to even give birth, you can kill everybody except a grandmother and she wouldn't be able to procreate anymore because she's gone through the menopause. That entire family tree is quite literally out of existence on the server forever.
Wow. And so there's a real sense of permanence, legacy,
exactly.
Connection.
Yeah, you can quite literally pass on the very hatchet that your granddad used to yourself, and then give that to your grandson as well, all within a space of an hour.
And what's the presentation like in this game? How are we interacting in this world? What is it?
It's what's the easiest way to describe it? Kind of point and click style, similar to kind of Don't Starve in a way.
Yeah.
It's kind of cartoony effects. I wouldn't say too cartoony, but it all looks very hand drawn. Very hand drawn. The artistry in it is quite simplistic. It's quite nice to see.
So how is the interface? How is it, getting around and interacting with each other? And I'm guessing with a survival game like this, there's going to be a whole buttload of crafting.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. You start from very basics, almost caveman-esque. So you have to learn to get a rock and smack it against a bigger rock to make a sharp rock. And then from there, as you get older and more intelligent, you have.
I wish that was true for everyone, Cameron.
What are you gonna do this to me, Ben?
I didn't mean you. I just
thought
mean in
we
general.
were friends.
In general, age does not equate to intelligence, but I like that it's sort of a gameplay mechanic here. Yeah, that's kind of really interesting.
It's kind of new. I haven't really come across too much of that, to be honest. And a lot of I've played quite a lot of simulation games for I think Sims and those sort of things, and you don't really get that sort of thing. You're just able to do more things, not necessarily intelligence. But as far as crafting goes, usually if you pick up an item, it will give you a little hint at the bottom of what can go with it to create a certain item. So it'll say rock, and then it'll say like large rock or boulder, and if you take that rock to that, it will obviously create the sharp stone. And from there, when you're holding the sharp stone, it will then give you the prompt to say like add wooden stick to make a hatchet, sort of thing. And you can scroll through what you can use a sharp stick with, and you can go find those items to then create that said item. So if you went to like a wild plant with this sharp stone, you can then dig it up to actually use for food.
Right.
Sometimes it does. I feel like sometimes it needed a bit of an actual image for you to see what it is.
Right.
Because obviously all the items in the game, obviously they do look exactly the same. So there's no different icon for a different sharp stone. They'll always look like a sharp stone. But when it gives you a text prompt saying like use the sharp stone with thread and a stick to make, hey presto, a hatchet, there's no actual like physical icon to show you what this thread looks like. I could be trying to use a rope with it instead, and as it turns out I've just added 2 threads together to make this rope when really I just needed thread. So there's it's a bit of confusion in there. There's a long list of stuff to find.
Is it almost like the simplicity is working against it in its style and its visuals?
A little bit. It's just a little too simplistic when it comes to the crafting. Um, don't get me wrong though, it was still quite innovative. The fact that you'd have to learn everything in the game to figure out what goes with what. You know, a lot of like crafting games like Minecraft sort of thing. You know, for example, we might have a list already of where to place things in that little crafting square. You know, or you're at least able to find them in a recipe sheet or something. But
and obviously it's encouraging you to learn, and then multiple playthroughs, and each time you go through it, you know, you're going to get through those earlier stages easier, and you know you're gonna be developing almost like your society is.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Really good.
No, I think it's a fascinating idea. Is it full release or is it early access?
It is actually already in full release, which is really cool. I'm going to go back to it probably after we finish here today, just to see if I'm able to go back into that very same generation, or see if I've lost them forever. I've lost my family.
So you could just go to different servers, I take it, and see where they're at and stuff as a fresh newborn and things, and switch around and stuff.
Yeah, because the further you get as a society, it does. I've seen some of the extra videos as well, where it does get quite futuristic.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you do start to be able to build motors and vehicles as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, does it move out of like the agrarian sort of like pastoral society and move into a technological society? And it really does. That is incredible. Yeah. That is incredible. What an amazing social experiment. I love it. That's amazing.
I haven't yet got to that stage yet. I think my caveman brain wouldn't work very well with it anyway.
You'd be the one going around PKing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. This technology is too much! It must die!
You'd be the societal aberration. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So you're just this... Sadly, Cameron was a serial killer. Oh, dear. We all saw that one coming. No, this sounds fascinating, mate. So it sounds like you're really into it. It sounds like a strong recommendation.
Absolutely. It was... I don't want to sound too cheesy, but... it did give me a sense of it's going to sound so cheesy when I say it, but I'm going to say it. It did give me a full sense of life is truly fleeting.
Wow, that's really cool.
It did. For such a little game like this to have an impact on someone who's completely dead inside like myself. I finished playing. I probably gave it a good 3 hours for multiple times all together, sort of thing. And one time I just sat down when I finished to have a break and a drink, and I was just like, wow. And genuinely, I went out. I took my son to a little play area so we can just spend some time together. Because I was just thinking, Christ, I know it's only an hour for this game, but your life goes so quickly in that game. I was just looking at it, and I was just thinking in my life, I know I'm going to leave something really nice behind. I love my son, and he's a fantastic little boy, and I can't wait to see how he grows up as well. Exactly how I've seen multiple generations grow up in this game. And I know, like I said, man, it's cheesy. But
it's not cheap. I mean, don't sell yourself short. I mean, for a game to elicit an emotional reaction like that, to make it look at your own life, to look at how life can go by in a blink of an eye. That's what. As you get older, you realise things won't be the same forever. And I think that's fascinating that a game can create that reaction, and it sounds to me like more people should be talking about this game, because to be honest, I haven't seen a huge amount of coverage on it, and I think it sounds like quite the experiment and quite the experience. Yeah.
I would like more people to be more involved in it, because there is a fair few people playing the entire game, for a game that small at least anyway. Because you can go onto their website, which is quite a it's a very small website. It's very charming, should we say? It isn't like whash bang. This is 1 hour 1 life. It's just there, and it tells you everything what it is, But you can go online and you can see how many people are playing, how many people are alive, how many generations there have been of a certain family line, how long it has been how long the generations were. I'll tell you right now. So today's longest lines. There's a gentleman who had one of his characters who died at 59 years old of generation 36.
Wow.
Yes, so 36 generations long. Imagine that if someone's been playing that for an hour at a time, on average. Well, I'd say about 40 minutes on average, because you can even catch yellow fever from a gang of mosquitoes. They'll come up and mess your day up.
Just like in real life.
Absolutely, yeah. So it tells you live, essentially, like of the most recent deaths. You know, there was someone called Eva Rose the second. In the first generation she was from, and she was 46 old, and she died 95 seconds ago. So
That's fascinating.
You can see everyone as they go along their entire lives, and it's fantastic.
So I think we've reached the end of this one then, yeah?
I just want to say, please go and look at this game. It was a lot of fun, and I think it deserves the credit that it's due.
It sounds truly mind-blowing in its scope, like really impressive. So yeah, I
Very
think that's another recommendation from Cameron, huh?
Yeah, very ambitious, and I hope they get the recognition they deserve.
So where can we be found, Cameron?
We can be found everywhere. We're on
Pretty
Twitter.
much.
Yes, pretty much. We are on Twitter at Experience Kills. You can follow Ben at DIYE. You can follow me as, I believe I'm Camelot, but I haven't been on Twitter for absolutely ages, because the last thing I posted was about dreaming of being a centaur where I was half cow instead of half horse, so I can make milkshakes for myself.
I literally have nothing.
Yeah. See you later, everyone!
Bye!